Breaking tonight, ugly new fallout after Brandeis University bows to pressure from Muslim groups and others and abruptly yanks an honor for an outspoken advocate of women's rights in the Muslim community. Welcome to the Kelly File, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. Ayaan Hirsi Ali is a Somali-born woman, American citizen, known for her support of advancing women's rights worldwide, and specifically her harsh criticism of the treatment of women within some Islamic societies. She was personally subjected to genital mutilation. She had to flee a forced marriage and is still receiving death threats for speaking out against these practices in some Islamic countries. She recently received attention for her work on the film Honor Diaries. That's a documentary that tries to shine a light on this kind of violence against Muslim women.
By law, they have the power to stop you from leaving the house, from working, from choosing your own mate.
Brandeis University was prepared to give Ms. Ali an honorary degree and have her speak at graduation. But the school yesterday withdrew the offer suddenly under pressure from Ms. Ali's detractors who call her an Islamophobe. Ms. Ali is here, and she will join me live in a moment. But first, one of the groups leading the successful effort against her is the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR. I spoke with Ibrahim Hooper, CAIR's communications director, just before we came to air. Mr. Hooper, thank you for being here. So
Thanks for having me.
Why would you oppose recognition of a speaker who is attempting to call attention to women's rights in the Muslim world?
Well, first of all, she doesn't do just that. She says that Islam itself has to be defeated, not radical Islam. As she says, Islam, period, must be defeated. She says that Muslim schools in America should be shut down, that the Constitution should be changed so that Muslims in America don't have civil liberties.
Here's my question for you, because I see your point. She's been critical of Islam. Muslims in general, I understand.
Yeah.
So if she had limited her criticism to radical Islam, to radicalized Muslims, would you have felt differently?
Well, first of all, this isn't a First Amendment issue. She speaks all the time. She just spoke in Canada. She speaks all over the place, and we don't say boo about it. But when a prestigious university like Brandeis is about to honor her and, in fact, endorse her views, that's when we speak out. And you'll notice that Brandeis and the professors and the interfaith community and the students all agreed she wasn't the right person to receive an honor.
That's not true. There's actually been considerable pushback, and it continues tonight.
There hasn't been. There's been a couple
yes, there has, and we'll get to that later.
Majority of
let me ask you this, sir. Let me ask you, sir, because you say that when the criticism that when she has spoken out in the past, you haven't said boo. But that's not exactly true, Mr. Hooper, because as we showed in the introduction, she was featured in a documentary called Honor Diaries, and your group has been pushing
Our objection to the
shut
Honor
down.
Diaries
May I finish my question, and then I'll give you the floor.
Well, I know exactly what you're saying, because I've watched the previous segments.
But the audience doesn't.
Yeah.
Your group has been pushing to shut down screenings of that film, which was featured at the Geneva Convention on Human Rights.
And
excuse me, Mr. Hooper, let me finish the question, and then I'll give you the floor, okay? You have been pushing to shut down those screenings. So it's not exactly true that you don't say boo when she speaks out in other forums.
It had nothing to do with her being in the film. Actually, it has a lot to do with her being the executive producer and therefore showing what this film is really all about. It's about demonizing Islam and marginalizing American Muslims. As you read on your previous segment, we condemn female genital mutilation. We condemn honor killings. We condemn of abuse of Muslims, women or women anywhere in the world. We're on the record clearly on that. That's not what this is about. It's about hijacking a legitimate issue in order to demonize Islam and marginalize Muslims, and that's what it's about.
Okay, but sir, the response to your push, your group's push to silence that film, which features her among other Muslim women talking about their own experience.
She's the executive producer of the film.
Let me finish. I've done you the courtesy. I appreciate the same. So what I'm saying is you claim that you don't like the group behind that film. I understand you don't like the messenger. Why not allow the message to be heard? It's the same question in both cases.
Because the message of that film is hate Muslims, hate Islam. That's what it's designed to do. If you go to the Clarion Fund's website, it's a sewer of anti-Muslim hate. That's what they're about.
But now you're back on the messenger.
Well, you have to see who the messenger is to determine what the real agenda is of their message.
Do you? Or does the film stand on its own or fall on its own? You're trying to stop the message from being heard.
If you'd had neo-Nazis doing a film about the Jewish community, I think you'd say, hey, I suspect their motives here.
Well, I understand. I mean, you say tonight that you call this a victory over hate, that Brandeis University has withdrawn this offer. Yeah. You call this woman an extremist. You call Ms. Ali a bigot and claim you don't like hateful extremists. However, your critics point out that may not be entirely true. There are a couple of instances. Number one, after 9/11, immediately after 9/11, excuse me, Mr.
I thought you didn't want to
I'm going to give you the floor, sir. I'm going to give you the chance to respond, okay? That's what we do here. You've had these criticisms come on our show, on the air, and in many other settings, and I want to give you the chance to respond.
On your critics say all over the internet.
Okay, I know everything's a hate site if it doesn't come from you. Your critics say that you refused to condemn Osama bin Laden right after the 9/11 attacks when you were given the chance to do so. That's on Salon.com, knowing he was a terrorist at the time. No. You've refused to denounce Hamas. You told the Washington Post it's not our job to go around denouncing.
We have condemned Hamas. We've condemned every Hezbollah, we've condemned FARC, we've condemned every organization that's on the list of terrorists designated by the U.S. government. But again,
why did you tell the Washington Post you wouldn't condemn Hamas?
You claim that you don't want to attack the messenger, yet this is what happens every time a Muslim comes on. You start this game playing. CAIR has a 20-year public record. 20 years.
Sir,
we've been one of the most public organizations in the country. If you have something specific that we have said or done in 20 years of putting our message out there, please tell me.
Okay, sir.
What is it that we have said or done that you object to?
You just
we defend the Constitution
now it's my turn.
On a daily basis.
Sir, you just told me that the messenger matters. You just made that point. I'm giving you that. If the messenger matters, then CAIR matters. And CAIR, according to U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer, excuse me, Mr. Hooper. And that was just part one. Tomorrow you will see how Mr. Hooper responded when challenged about CAIR's tactics for attacking some of its critics. And we'll have a little discussion about the criticism that they